As a therapist who works with trauma, I've been pretty guilty of looking through this really Western lens, as if the body and the psyche is like a machine. And when a part breaks, well, do this and you'll fix it. And I think that's how we're really taught to look at everything. When you've got an illness or a malady, you get the right therapy, you take the right pill, you get the right supplement, and you fix it. But what this really doesn't do justice to is the fact that our very beings are embedded in a bigger interconnected context. And while this newer part of our brain that evolved over the last 100,000 years, really in humans, of this prefrontal left biased brain that likes to chop things up and look at them as if they exist in little pieces, like the body can be divided into pieces that can be fixed. That's very new. What more realistically, the kind of bio energetic organism that is existence is sort of one process that's happening. And you might think that sounds kind of woo woo, but it's really not. It's actually absurd to think of it any other way. Everything is an interconnected eco-biological process of parts affecting each other. So healing through this really kind of problem-solving, focused left brain way has its place for sure, but it also runs into limitations when we start to alienate ourselves from kind of the nature of our very organism. I've done a fair amount of work with plant medicines, and in particular the plants iboga and the combination of plants known as ayahuasca have really transformed the sense of how to even approach an issue. For instance, with poor sleep, I've suffered from insomnia. There was years, it went on for a long time, and it was so tempting to look at the Western lens of how do I correct this? Which pill do I take? And in work with plant medicine, bigger pictures started to be revealed where, oh, okay, it's not just that there's symptoms that need to be treated through that Western lens. It's that the very way I use my body, my lifestyle, it made me more aware that in the day-to-day, myself and all of us, we tend to ignore the intuitive signals that flow through our bodies. We force ourselves to do things for long periods without really tuning into the bioenergetic effect it's having. As a result, we start to clench our muscles continuously without noticing until it feels normal to actually be in heightened states of chronic fight, flight, kind of flooded with the stress hormone cortisol. And well, it would more be confusing if there wasn't things that started to go wrong in the body. Through something called the diathesis stress model, the idea is when we sustain enough stress, we start to break at our weakest points. And for me, my sleep goes. That's like the sign that I'm redlining. For others, it might be physical complaints. You might somatize things. You might have your tendons start to act up through inflammatory processes. You take your pick. We all blow out at different parts. But what it is for me is it's a call to a bigger action and get out of that left brain Western thinking, which exists in sort of, convenient but inaccurate symbols of things, and start to think more in terms of the primordial, typically more Eastern views of things, the holistic, the bigger picture. So rather than something's wrong, I'll go to therapy and I'll cure it. I'll drink ayahuasca and I'll cure it. It becomes, I need to actually embed myself in a lifestyle of healing. I have to look at healing not as a cure, but as a process. In my clinical training, they say, trust the process, and it's a process. We tell our clients that. But it's only been in the more recent years I've really come to understand that healing isn't looking for the cure. It's actually embracing faith in being embedded in a very super conscious and intelligent organism that knows what it's doing, of which your body is a direct link to through hundreds of millions of years of interwoven complex biological evolution that doesn't go away just because you're in an apartment and you've got unnatural light. You're still embedded in the original intersubjective organism that kind of co-creates reality. So rather than figure out what's wrong, how do I cure it, I think the task is more to start to ask more open-ended questions to the body. Rather than looking at it as a machine with parts you need to fix, start to have a relationship with the body and ask it. meditate for 20 minutes and close with prayer. Tune into the body, watch where the sensations of pain are, and gently ask, what's going on, buddy? How are you doing? You're not doing so hot lately. What's going on? Can we work together in a deeper capacity? Can you ask your body, how can I take care of you? You know, the basic skills of somatic emotional awareness, tracking sensations, the relational skills of heart opening, connecting with others to get feedback. And again, I'm to those who are called, plant medicine seems to have an agenda that looks like it wants, the plants seem to want us to take care of ourselves. That's all I can say. It's something you have to experience to understand, and I'm sure many of you have. So I wanted to share a little bit about that and see if I could challenge people to interrupt and disrupt the typical modes we have of thinking and consider maybe there's a really different way of relating to healing that has less to do with the point and click conveniences of analytical thinking, the habitual, very focused problem solving frontal left brain bias that we find in Western culture, and consider what can we do to go into the contrasting states of slowing down, recovery, incubation, trust, faith, process, and flow that actually give us the capacity to recover and integrate and connect to our higher ordinate creative process. Can we do that? We can. So thanks for watching.